Hello, and welcome to Hotspur Way, Season 1, Episode 43. Now, we have a question for Josh. Where's Josh?
Where's Josh?
Is Josh here with us?
Here we go again.
Is he not here? Should we give him a call?
He shat himself as well. Make it a pod hat trick.
Do you want to, while I call Josh, do you want to explain to the listeners what you're talking about?
So originally, we were meant to do our usual theme and record yesterday.
Hurry up!
You know,
he's going to pick
we're all
up.
ready. He won't pick up. And one of us couldn't make it. The OG James.
Hi, mate.
There he is.
Hello.
Have you shat yourself?
Have you shut yourself?
No, can I help you?
Acting like you don't know us, you're right.
Right, so David at David Spurs FM asks, and it's for you, on a full
Wait,
English
can you hear me
breakfast. Eh?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, everyone can.
We didn't ask Josh.
Right, so on a full English breakfast, toast and coffee included, which Spurs player would be which breakfast item and why?
That is a very full-on question.
But it's a food-based one, so it suits.
Well, I'm asking you instead of Hannah because it is food based.
Oh, ha ha.
Yeah, hang on, I'm trying to think.
It's not all
who
beige.
Right, the star of the show.
Whilst Josh
for
thinks,
me,
sorry, can I
looks
just...
at the bacon when it's crispy. So I'm giving that to my boy, Heung-min Son, captain, isn't he? Bacon's
Right.
captain. Son can be the bacon. Bacon. Sausages. Who could be the sausage? To be fair, if it was battered, it could be Madison, couldn't it? Someone
Could
that likes
be.
a battered sausage from Madison.
It's such a shame we don't do fish fingers in full English breakfast.
You can have a fish finger sandwich as a side.
That's criminal.
I need to think now. Black pudding can be.
Careful.
Don't be racist.
Hey,
Brexit Josh.
I'm thinking too far into this.
Behave.
A dogi can be black pudding.
For fuck's sake.
We are recording.
Beans can be.
Has to be Oliver Skip.
He's recently made me shit myself just by watching him.
Who?
Who was that?
Hash brown.
Because Toj keeps talking over you. Who?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, no, that's my.
Who was the
TV.
beans?
Sorry. Fuck. Hash brown.
Who was the beans?
Who was the
I wanna know who
beans?
the beans were.
Beans? Oh, I said Dragusin. He makes me shit myself.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's all right. We all make mistakes. Hash brown. I reckon Van de Ven for hash brown because I love hash browns. I love Van de Ven. And does this make sense in my head? What have I got? I've got sausages, I've got bacon, I've done beans, hash brown.
You got fried tomato. You got
Egg.
toast. Yeah, egg, coffee.
Coffee. Who could be my egg? Werner can be my egg because he's very runny. He runs a lot.
Very runny.
Richarlison because he's got a fluffy hair. When his hair's tanned, he looks tanned. When his hair dyed, he looks like a cup, like a latte, doesn't he? Like a latte. Is that what? Oh no, I need sauce. I'm having brown sauce or ketchup.
It's up to you. It's your
A
breakfast.
bit of
I
both.
think about brown sauce for me. I mean, that's what the people want. Ange would be my sauce, the one that bind it all together. That could be Ange.
Nice.
Very nice.
So what are we saying? What do you reckon? Is that
Yeah.
a good answer?
Yeah, very good answer.
Happy with that?
Strong.
Are the guys happy with that?
Yeah, can you crack your ankles, please?
Hang on. There you go. Did you hear that?
Yeah, we did.
On command as
Disgusting.
well.
Lovely.
You dirty boy.
Yeah, as well. That was so forced.
All right, see you later. Bye.
I love you. Bye.
Well, there you go.
Only
Headphones
Josh
back on.
could answer a food-based question like that.
I know. Brexit.
It was very in depth. Can I just say one thing, just food related, and to David as well? Your opinions on apple juice are fucking horrific, mate. Pattern up.
Oh dear.
That's all I
It's
have to
very
say on that.
controversial.
Yeah, but David did do that great TikTok for us.
Oh, he
He did.
did. What a boy.
Wasn't that
I
so
might
good?
let it slide.
So good.
It was
Proper review, that was.
It was
Proper review, and some people can't even just click a button, can they?
Sorry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike this review of the financial statements, I think we're a bit late to the party, don't you think? But because Hannah and Toj have gone through them meticulously, and they've decided to give their time on a Wednesday night and go through them because we've not had a game for what seems like 2 weeks. Hannah, over to you.
Oh no. Yeah.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just the girl. I'm just here for the numbers.
Right, so
Go on.
you read. Okay, so let's. Just,
I'm not here on merit, James.
For
I'm here
this-
to fill a quota.
I thought it's because you went topless that one time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that time. Right, no. So
That wasn't be very memorable, would it?
Okay, so you blinked, you missed. Right, if you look, the financial statements are 60 pages long, and unless you are a forensic accountant and don't have a life, they're not really interesting. So what happens is that right at the beginning, there's like a preamble where they give a summary of the 60 pages of accounts. But I think it's important that we explain how financial statements, or FS, come into being. Do any of you two know how they come into being, or am I putting you on the spot again?
The what come into being?
Financial statements, FS.
How do they come into being?
Yeah, who does them, for instance? Who puts them together?
The
Probably
club.
accountants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The club accountants.
Indirect.
Finance
No,
specialists.
it's not the club accountants. Oh, you failed.
This isn't my
Failed.
remit, actually.
Big
That's
time.
just
Yeah,
Ramble
I was expecting
He's the
you
one.
to know this.
Why?
Because,
Am I going to get the sack? Why?
isn't that be a good thing? I'm not going to edit that out. Okay, so what happens when you've got a business? You can either do the bookkeeping yourself, so you pass everything through into an accounting system, accounting software, or you can outsource it. I don't know how the club do it. I'm pretty sure that they do it. What is that? Don't tell me that's a ringtone.
No.
Right.
No, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So this is an audit, right?
The
So
auditors.
Yeah, exactly. So what then happens is, and this is for most businesses worldwide, your bookkeepers and your accountants pass through all the transactions that happen into the accounting software, into various ledgers, blah, blah, blah. But that's not enough, because they could, if they wanted to, cheat. They could say, well, we didn't really receive this much money. We only received half that. And we didn't really spend this much money. We spent much more. And so we don't need to pay you, Mr. Taxman, the amount that you think we do. Haha. It doesn't work like that. So what happens is you hire external auditors, and an audit is done on your, basically, financial records, on your financial statements. And what an auditor will do is they will go through and they will sample some of the transactions. And I'm not going to get into it now, but there's loads of different means on how they can do that. And they'll circle certain things and they'll send it back to the club, especially to the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and they'll say, "Oi, Sunshine, what is this? Can you explain this?" And he or she, I believe it's a he, has to explain it. And once the auditors are happy, they will then sign off on these financial statements. Does it say who did these financial statements anywhere in these 60 pages? This is really boring podcasting. I just want to see. Do they mention right at the end who did? No, they don't. No, they don't.
Really?
No. No. They don't. They talk about bankers and... Oh, sorry. Of course they do. The auditor, Deloitte. So Deloitte is one of the big four in the world.
Oh, okay.
Right, so Deloitte went through the accounts and they charge a pretty penny, I can tell you that. And the amount they probably charged for the previous year is reflected somewhere within these 60 pages, but I can't bother going through and trying to find that. So out of these financial statements, so Hannah, is there something that you didn't understand or you want some clarification on? Like, for instance...
I feel so targeted.
Okay, that's good. Like, for instance, let's first of all understand that these sets of accounts were from last season. You remember that season from hell that we had, where we got thumped by Newcastle, we lost at Fulham. That's this season, isn't it? Yeah, there was the one where there's the one where Conte got sacked. We don't actually know when he got sacked. Did he really gone in January? And then they just said that he was gone in March. Who knows? It was the season where we had Stellini, who, wow, he was useless. Ryan Mason came in. And we didn't know where we were going as a club. It was Harry Kane's final season with us, right? We were in the Champions League. I know that there's not many of us who even remember that. Do you remember when we played that Milan game when we had to win and we were playing like we were 10-0 up on aggregate?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. It was that season.
Sanchez. Yeah.
Yeah. It was when Sarr had a pretty all right game. Was it the first leg? I can't remember. Or the second leg.
Yeah.
Right. So these accounts are from that season. That's why they're in the review. We talk about Champions League. Say we. The club talks about Champions League and various television media revenues were increased. Blah 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 blah. The biggest highlight here is that for the first time in the club's history, the revenue, that is the money coming in, surpassed 500 million, which is massive, like absolutely enormous. In my lifetime alone, so I'll be 45 soon, I can't believe the growth of football and the amounts of money that this sport is generating, and I think it's only going to get bigger once Sky and TNT fuck off and the Premier League takes on the actual commercial television rights. And I think that will happen within the next decade. And when that happens, that means that most clubs can then charge whatever they want. There'll probably be a sub fee, so each club gets a small little fee. But that's when you've really got a breakaway league. And that's why I'm sort of hoping it doesn't happen soon. Because who's going to really want to go and pay Burnley for their, to watch Burnley? Other than their 7.5 fans, who really is going to... I mean, they don't have a global following, do they? Right? And so what will then happen is teams that are huge in countries other than the UK, such as Thailand and America. Well, no, not America. Let's just say Hong Kong, China, Thailand, the Far East. The two biggest clubs that are supported there are Man U and Liverpool. And the amount of money that they're going to get for their rights just from those countries there are massive. And it'll put them on different levels. I mean, thank goodness Manchester United have proven to the whole world that they don't know what to do with, even if they had all the money in the world, they wouldn't know what to do. Liverpool, we'll talk about them a bit later. But still, 500 million based on what we have now, which is absolutely loads. Do you guys have any questions?
What's player amortization?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked that question.
Oh, thank you.
Smooth.
Right, let's talk about Ndombele.
Okay. Do we have to?
Yeah.
My goat. I love him.
So, Ndombele, I need you to get your mobile phone out, mate, and open up the what's it called? Get the calculator app up.
Yeah.
How much did we buy him for?
It's like 60.
Was it really 60 million?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was with all the add-ons, which no one will ever see.
Wow, that's like the reported fee.
Can we just say like 55 million? Can you enter 55 million in your
I
phone?
will do 55 million for you.
He had a 6-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
He did. It runs out this year.
This
No,
year?
next season.
Next season. That's a 6-year contract.
25.
So if you can just do 55 million divided by 6.
That is 9,166,000.
Right. So the way that accounting standards work is that you don't have to state all in one go. We as a club. So back in when we purchased him in 2019, right? That means in 2020, when the financial statements were released, which were disclosing that spend, you don't have to say as a club that we spent 55 million. What you do is you say we have spent that, but we're amortizing the value of this player based on his contract.
So is that what Chelsea have done then with their long
Yes,
contracts?
that's why they did it. And
Okay.
that's why then the Premier League said, nope, can't do this anymore, enough. And so, yeah, that's all it is. It's all about amortization.
Sure.
You ask about impairment as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about Ndombele again. So with Ndombele, he really
It's a lazy
hasn't-
fat joke, that, sorry. Call him impaired.
Very good. Very good.
he hasn't performed, right? And so what they're doing is, in the accounts, they're writing down the fact that this asset hasn't performed to those levels, and so we're basically writing it off or writing it down to a certain level up until the point where you say enough, it's gone, right? And based on our previous transfers of the last, let's say, well, before Paratici came in, there's probably been a lot of, well, I can actually tell you how much there has been, because the financial statements, what they do is they go for 5 years, so they show actually what's gone on here. Now, do you know what's really interesting? Look at this. On page 3, in the middle, if you take a look at intangible assets, so intangible assets, that's assets that you can't really, well, touch. You can touch footballers. I mean, footballers touch other people all the time. We can ask the party that, can't we? But the point is here that if you take a look at 2019, the intangible assets, it's not just playing staff, there's other things in here too, but mostly players. 124 million, 5 years on, 295 million, that's a massive jump. So to all those, I was going to say green and gold, is it purple and gold?
Purple.
Guys, yeah, who say that we don't spend money. Really?
No.
Where have you been for the last 5 years? Because I'm looking at it in black and white, and we've spent quite a lot of money. Anything else, guys? I mean, look, everyone's talked to death that Daniel Levy gave himself a bonus. And yes, I mean...
I know Toj has a lot to say about this bit.
Oh, go on then, Toj.
It's just like, the thing that gets me with this is it's always the same crowd. And granted, it used to be me before I understood how football works and how our business kind of works. I'm still a bit of a drip for the most part, but I understand a little bit. He's not paying himself. Like, he's not just like, opening a checkbook and saying, 7 million this year. It's not really how it works. And there was another bit of uproar. I think it was on the sort of accounts after 2019 as well, when he gave, well, in air quotes, he gave himself a bonus for the stadium completion, even though it was so late or whatever. And it's just bollocks. Like, he's not paying himself. That other bloke you have a moan at, Mr. may have avoided some taxes, Joe Lewis. He's the one who'll have a say on salary for Levy, and probably the rest of the board. I could be wrong on that, but I'm assuming.
I can tell you how it works if you want.
Yeah, please. Someone with a brain.
So really quickly, what happens when you have a board structure like this one? The major shareholders will have a vote. You normally have a veto vote from the directors, and normally from the chairperson. I don't think he would ask. I don't think he would say, "Guys, listen, I'm due a bonus, but I'm going to veto it myself." That ain't gonna happen. So the only other person who probably could say, "Oh no, we don't want you to do it," would be the trust, the Lewis family trust. That ain't gonna happen either. Does that make sense?
There you go. Very succinct.
Absolutely. So take your points, right? All those leave you out, pays himself, and you know what you can do, right? You can stand up on the 65th minute and turn around to represent 6.5 million of Levy's bonus, and have a go at that.
Why don't they turn around for 6.5 million minutes?
Oh,
Just stay there. No water, no food, no nothing. Just a bit of a problem though, wouldn't it? I mean, well, actually, let's be honest. A lot of purple and gold probably don't even go to the stadium, so it wouldn't be that much of a problem.
That's the thing.
There is that.
Yeah, so
Stuck in their armchairs.
Now, there was a big hoo-ha about why, even though we have made a loss, because we have, and that's quite easy to figure out if we've made a loss or not. Do you know how you do it?
I love how you do this. You go, it's really easy. Do you know how? And me and Todd just sitting there going, no.
So, one minute. So, Toj, get your calculator out again.
Oh, here we go.
Is that a euphemism?
No. He's too young for that.
I'll take
wasn't
anything
aiming
to
at you.
illustrate, Hannah.
He's not too young for that.
Have you got your calculator? Have you got it out?
I do.
Enter the number 2.
Yeah.
-3. Are you at a loss?
There's a 1 with a funny sign next to it. What does that mean?
So if you take 2 and you deduct 3 from it, what happens?
Oh, you've got less than what you had.
Right. So that's a loss.
Fuck.
There you go.
Damn.
And it's that
It's
simple.
been that easy all along.
It has been that easy. And what you do in the financial statements, it's super easy. You basically take your revenue and then you deduct all of your expenses. And then from there you can see what does the club have. Okay? And so you can see that we actually did make a loss. Do any of you know how much we made a loss on?
It wasn't that much, was it? From what I distinctly remember. Like, it was still a loss, but it wasn't nothing to get the purple and, well, actually, no, anything will get the purple and gold crowd fucking riled up at this rate. What was it 86 mil?
Yeah. And the reason why we didn't do an Everton is because the amount that was calculated as loss making, it was due to the fact that we were spending money on the stadium. Okay? That's the main reason. We would have made a profit. I really believe we would have made a profit if the club was better at selling players. Because in the Premier League, I think we're either joint bottom or bottom with regards to player sales and income. We just can't seem to get rid of players. And this obviously doesn't include the 100 million, if it was that, from the Harry Kane sale. And if you remember the season before that, we just kept saying, why just sell them? Do you remember that when everyone was just saying, just sell these players? And we weren't. Yeah, it's reflected now. And so, if we had done that, then, we wouldn't have been at a loss. But this is like an operational loss. So in business, it's not really too bad if you've lost 86 million. Oh, wow, what was that? It was like an earthquake.
Do you reckon that's just Josh's ankles warming up?
No. I was just... Oh, my God, the house is still shaking.
Was that you?
Yeah. This is so weird. Wow.
Oh, shit.
In Cyprus at 10:45 in the evening, experienced an earthquake on Wednesday. Wow.
Live earthquake.
Wow. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you know, for instance, Hannah, you've just started your online business and you've made a few £1,000s worth of sales. You've come up with a new form of dildo and it's really great and you're really happy with it. Your customers are really happy with it, and you've made a loss, even though you've made quite a few sales over the first few months. It was great, but now you know that to really expand, you need to buy a lot more raw materials, and so you basically will go to your bank and say, listen, as you can see, I've made all these sales, but I just really want to invest not just the money I've made, but more, because I have these guaranteed agreements in place from these companies, Vibes in Kent, that one day Hannah will go to and get us a sponsor from, and they have pledged to purchase an X amount, but I need a loan from you. Can you please give me that money? So they say, yeah, no problem, and they've injected that money, and then you've gone and spent it all. And while you're waiting for the product to be created or manufactured, you've actually incurred a loss, okay? But you know that in the next month or 2 months, sales are going to go through the roof, right? Sure. And so this is like an operating loss. It's nothing, 80-something million, when you've got revenues of over 500 million. Mm-hmm. So just so you can understand what we're talking about, 86 million is a lot of money. If you go onto rightmove.com and you search for houses for 86 million, there are a few on there, right? And where was I going with this point? If you then try to search for houses for 500 million, you won't find any. There are none. And just so you can understand how much we're talking about, 500 and what was it? What was the actual amount that we made revenue? 549 million. That's 549. Is it 1,000? Hold on a minute. 1 billion, just so you understand, 1 billion is 1,000 million. 1,000 million is 1 billion, right? Some of us try and dream of saying, what would a million be like? That's how much money we've made. And so to say that, yeah, but the losses are at 86 million, oh, that's terrible, what do we do about this? It's really not that bad at all. What else do you want to talk about? Any other things that came up? We've spoken about Daniel Levy, we've spoken about... Oh, there are some things which were really interesting here. And I have messaged Kieran Maguire. He comes to Cyprus a lot. Do you know who Kieran Maguire is, guys? Have you heard of him?
Yes.
So he comes to Cyprus. He teaches, if I'm not mistaken, either at the University of Cyprus or it's the British University out here. I'm hoping to meet him when he comes over here next, because he did mention something in the accounts which are really interesting. You know, on Football Manager, when you buy a player, now I haven't done it for years. I haven't played Football Manager for years, but so you can tell us this one, Toj. When you buy a player, normally what happens is, unless you've got add-ons, that amount is taken out of your accounts. So if you've got 50 million and you just bought a 50 million pound player, you can't then go and spend another 40 million on someone else, right?
No. Well, it depends how you're sourcing the finance. Because I think Bournemouth did it a little while ago. They were sort of selling a player. I can't remember the exact cost, but they were selling a player. The club couldn't actually afford to pay them for a little while, like a year or something. And so they took a loan from a bank for that same money to then purchase. I think it was Dominic Solanke. I could be quite wrong on the players and like the timelines, but that's what they did. So, anyway.
The good news here, well, it's not really good news. I wish that we didn't do it. It has happened for years, and then Roman Abramovich came along and sort of changed it. When you buy a player, what happens is you will contact the Premier League, and if the player is from a different league, then the FAs will then get involved. There is a registration, and there is a contract in place that states that if a player costs X amount of money, then you will, in most cases, not pay that full amount of money, but you'll pay it per year over the course of the player's contract. And normally what then happens is, let's say you buy a player like Ndombele for 6 years, and then you end up selling him 2 years in because he's dog shit, you will have to pay back the full amount to Lyon. For instance, that's normally how these contracts work. And Spurs do have, I actually can't see the amount. I think it's over 200, or is it nearly maybe 300 million? I'm guessing between 200 and 300 million of money owed to other clubs. But that's not really a bad thing. A lot of clubs do this, and so it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it as using Klarna. for your local listeners when you're doing your ASOS shop. You just paying it bit by bit.
Credit.
Yeah.
Spurs are on income support. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're Benefits FC. We're putting West Ham to shame.
Anything else? I think we've covered everything, haven't we?
I just like how
Pretty
you had
much.
to make a dildo reference for me to understand some of the things you were saying.
Oh, I can make more of them if you want.
Very relatable.
What-
Sorry, Mum.
What else?
Say one
You
one
keep
little
apologising.
thing.
Keep apologising to
Oh.
Sue. Don't think it works anymore. Yeah. What is it?
Sue's
mate?
given up.
We all have, mate.
Yeah, that ship sailed.
Yeah. The dildo has truly bolted. Yep, go on, mate, tell us.
It sailed up a different kind of sea. What were we saying? I was saying this sort of like club monies, and one of the things we should keep an eye on. I'm not going to make a big deal of it, but the fact we put in the application for basically double the non-football events
But what's
in
the
the calendar
problem?
year.
What's the problem with that?
Oh, I've got no problem. It's fucking brilliant. But some Twitter users, such as Football Confidential, are getting on their purple and gold hammer train with it.
Do you want to read it
So-
out? I do believe that we have it here to hand.
Fucking hell, how long you got?
We do. He has done a full fucking Communicado Official with this.
Fucking War and Peace.
Do you have it? Do any of you have it there?
I do. I have it.
Can you
it now?
Can
Should
you
read it out?
Yeah, go on, please. It's really funny.
It is very good. So also have Alistair Gold tweeting, we submit the application for non-football events to boost income, basically. And Mr. Football Confidential replies, I said this would happen ages ago and got told to give my head a wobble. This will be continually pushed. Levy will want that stadium be used every 2 to 3 days, i.e. 100 plus football or non-football events per year if he can, and have year-round events like tours and karting and other lucrative stuff that falls into the non-event grey area. I've said it before and I'll say it again, there will come a day when it's so heavily booked up and rock-solid lucrative contracts signed, etc., that an unexpected fixture arrangement will mean Spurs are in a pickle. I'll have to play a home game at Wembley or MK Dons as a one-off because the latest Beyonce live tour gig can't be moved, except it won't be a one-off and it might happen again. Second-class citizens in our own stadium, and any fan who doesn't believe this will happen is being extremely naive and delusional over how these owners run this club.
So can I just say something? You know when it comes
Gold.
to when it comes to critical thinking, when you've made an argument, you immediately lose any credibility when you then slag off anyone for not agreeing with you. And that's exactly what this person has done. The last statement is, if you don't agree with me, if you don't follow exactly what I'm saying, then you're a dick. That, if as far as I can see, that's what this person has said.
The
That
hyperbole is mad on that.
But that means that this argument is null and void. They have null and voided it themselves. So guys, next time you want to do this, end it with, guys, these are my thoughts. I know I may have come across a bit strong. Can you tell me if I'm wrong or not? And stupid. Do you think I am stupid? And can you let me know if I'm wrong on any of this? Now that would be a good way to end an argument. Rather than tell everyone that they're dicks for not agreeing with you.
I think this is like the new era of ITK.
But now this person is going to sit there wanting other clubs to either have COVID or other extenuating circumstances so that their games against us can be postponed, and then they'll be sat on the edge of their fucking IKEA stall like you, Toj, begging for the club to have some sort of event nearby to just bring up that old tweet and go, I told you so.
Exactly.
Aren't I the best? Really? Pat me on the back, send me a pack of fucking raisins because I told you this. And look at the date I told you. Look at this. 6 weeks ago I told you this. No one believed me at the time. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck is the point? Honestly.
What a sad little life, Jane.
Yeah. Saddos. It's so sad, honestly.
All the grace of a reversing dump truck.
Have we done these financial statements to death? Oh, by the way, let's actually finish the thing. With the planning application, I think it's a great move, and I didn't know that it wasn't already done. So when I read about it, I thought, oh, that's interesting. I didn't realise that we hadn't done that already. And then I thought, why haven't we done it already? And made some inquiries. And you have to have some sort of grace period when making certain applications, because the UK still has Stone Age rules in which, normal logic ceases to apply. Brexit.
Where's Josh when you need him?
I know. Slapping his ankles at his mum's house. Without any Bluetooth. That's where he is. And where's our Johnny?
We're so being neglected.
I know. We needed some brains on this pod, and anyway. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm on.
It's been a rough week.
It has actually. I know. Should we play the? Am I putting him on the spot? Should we play the Johnny voice note? I didn't listen to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you
play
play
the second
it?
one or the first one?
Yeah, probably.
All right, do you want to play it then?
Which one?
The second one. I heard the first one.
Okay. Who's playing it? Me or Toj?
I don't know. Who cares? You can fight for it if you want.
Sorry, didn't want to interrupt. Okay.
Go on, H.
Ready? Go on then. Okay.
That's
Wait, because I put it on 1.5 speed and it sounds really funny.
You just have one job. I mean.
This is for you, James. I get my water from the faucet. We cover our baked goods for structure with aluminum. Josh is from I can't remember the Portsmouth, and Hannah says kettle. Very funny. It's me kettle.
Fucker, mate, honestly.
Oh, we miss you, Johnny.
We do.
We love Big Johnny.
We've done the financial statements, right? And if you've got any
Yeah.
questions, not you two, listeners, let us know. And
We probably won't answer them.
Probably won't, no. Just forward them on to someone else and pretend that we've answered them like normal.
Take credit. I like that.
Right, question for Toj. Richie, who's Richie Coys, asks, on a coin toss, if it lands on your call, then Tottenham win the treble for the next 10 years. If it doesn't, your penis permanently shrinks to half its size. Are you flipping the coin?
Oh, God. Richie, mate. I'm a humble
How much
man.
have you got to lose?
Oh, that's the issue. There ain't much going. There's diminishing returns here. It's all.
You know that negative symbol that you just saw on the calculator?
Honestly, I would have probably the world's shallowest vagina at that point. It's not good. It's not good, Richie. I love your
Yeah, but
question.
the treble. Come on. The next 10 years.
10 years.
10. Oh, wait, does he mean like a treble, like
Win the
every
treble
year for
for
a
the
decade?
next 10 years.
Yeah, those are the exact words. Tottenham win the treble for the next 10 years. That is
Saints.
30 trophies in a decade. When you are 34, you will be supporting the greatest team known to humanity.
Be immune from all the trophy jokes.
But you could also be a eunuch.
But I mean,
Oh.
I'm not actually getting much anyway.
That is
I
so
mean, Hannah,
bold
you got
to
any
say
good
that.
dildo recommendations?
She's selling them. She's waiting. She's waiting for
Even
the next
better.
order to be produced.
I don't know, the
you know
reviews
what,
on
I
the one
can-
James sent me are pretty good.
You know what? Oh my God, that fucking monster. Well, the Moby, that one.
Guys, it's not a monster.
It is. It's a monster, and I think that vibrator should have an OnlyFans page just on its own. Just that, just by itself. It'd do the trick. You don't even need to appear, mate. Just turn it on, go and stand behind the camera.
You know
That's
what,
it.
Hannah? Can you find someone else and do like vibrator racing? I find that really amusing.
Would you? Okay, alright. My side hustle.
Can we-
I'm so
you know
sorry,
what?
Mum.
When you
I
start the
really am.
dildo business, I'll get a cast of my little inverted penis for people. Brilliant fetish.
I think that answers your question, Richie.
Well, it looks like he's doing
Yes.
everything he can to avoid answering this question.
I think he's committed to having an inverted penis, is what he just said.
Okay, perfect. Unlike our inverted fullback, who seems to be really happy that he's out for the rest of the season in the Euros.
I was fuming at that photo.
Did you like that segue? I thought that was top.
That was absolutely fantastic.
Cheers,
That
thanks for
was
that.
fucking slick.
Why?
That
So
was.
why are they always so happy in the hospital?
Suffer, be miserable.
Yeah, guys, hello, thumbs up, yeah,
I want to see tears.
everyone around them. And you predicted this, didn't you, Anna?
I did what?
You predicted it in that car crash of a podcast.
I did. It wasn't a car crash. That was a great episode, actually. And we were unsupervised. No grown-ups.
Oh, true.
But anyway, yeah, you're right. I did predict it. I spoke it into existence, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, and we seem to be having a lot of these injuries in training. I just think it's because clearly there's no tactical training going on, right?
Is that another segue?
It's another segue into Eric Dier's comments, and I'll read him to you. So he was asked on the overlap whether Postecoglou is the most tactically aware coach he's worked for. And the way he said it, he said, no, interestingly, he really doesn't do any tactical work in training. What he does is every single training drill from Monday to Friday is drawn up to represent the way he wants to play. Antonio Conte, I could do it blind, but that was a lot of tactical work, Monday to Friday, a lot of 10 versus 0 walkthroughs. You were so well drilled, it would be ingrained in you. And so Andrew's asked about this, and it's just the way he said it. He was like, mate, I don't know what you mean by no tactical work. Everything we do is geared on how we are going to play our football. So for me, by extension, is tactical work. Now, before I go off on a rant about this, trying to deconstruct what Eric Dier, a man who I've never met, probably never will meet, was talking about, do any of you have any comments? I'm going to open my water bottle, so sorry about the noise.
It's not as bad as oh, fucking hell.
That
Hello,
sounded
Josh
like-
and his ankles.
That sounded like Josh was here.
The spirit. Oh, we love him. One thing I would do want to sort of say about it is that I sort of distinctly, I recall Ben Davies saying, like, training under Poch in a podcast he's done recently. It was
Poch or Postecoglou?
Poch.
Right.
Sort of
Poch.
in that sort of peak year, so that sort of 2017 to 2018 period. I think I remember him saying that, again, they didn't really focus on the opposition too much. They barely did anything sort of opposition based in their training. So I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. And they were just rocking up to games, sort of just playing their game, not caring. And is that not what we're doing now? Just playing our game, not worrying about the opposition, let them worry about us, which is what we've been screaming out for God knows how many years.
Isn't that what most top managers do?
Yeah, it's what they all do.
It's get good enough at this, and therefore you won't have to tailor to every single team and every situation. It's just be good. It's like the plan A, plan B thing we were talking about last time. Just get good enough at plan A, and you won't need to rip up the rule book for certain teams.
Shall I give you a quote?
Exactly.
If you need a plan B, it means you're fucking useless. It means you don't have a plan A. I need to like, make that quote a little bit better, but you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it makes sense. Because I think the only club that really are an elite club with no real designated style of play is Real Madrid. But that's because it's Real Madrid and it's Ancelotti, and they're just going to sweep up the Champions League for the next decade. Even if I do get my penis inverted, I think it's a lost cause. But yeah, it's one of those. I just think give Ange some time. Arteta had 3 years of being bantered, and now look where they are. Ange has 1 season of doing very, very fucking well. Yeah, give the Aussie cunt a chance.
Yeah, Exactly.
Yes.
Hannah, do you want to say something before I go into it?
No, I just said my piece. I'm good. I agree with Toj.
I fully agree. And there was something I wanted to say last week, and I'd written it down, scribbled it down, and I didn't say it, but it sort of ties into this. Now, Hannah, you've supervised some people at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you
Sorry,
stand
guys.
do you stand over them and basically I don't think they're using the pen and paper, but just say they were, do you then, as they pick up the pen, like get your hand and go over their hand, and as they're writing, you're guiding their hand on how to write, and then you're moving them out of their seat, walking them over to a certain filing cabinet to do some background work on whatever case it is you're working on, telling them which file to pick up? Do you do all of this, or do you just say, this is the result that we need, can you get this done? These are guidelines on how I would like to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just micromanagement, isn't
Well,
it?
it's a leading question, and Conte was a bit like that, wasn't he?
He played every ball, and this is where Conte came from, is that he literally played every ball. You could hear it when you were watching the game. He was bearing down on them constantly, and in those times where maybe they hadn't trained directly for this, whatever was playing out in front of them, they didn't know what to do. So is Ange's way not better in the sense that it's teaching them to use their initiative?
100%.
That's how I see it.
1,000%.
And
Angie's empowering the players, and thus they get the best out of anyone in any workforce.
You've got such a great name, mate, because I was about to say that. And the thing is, if it goes wrong, so if you're a micromanager, and number one, micromanagement, it doesn't work. I don't care what industry you're in. I've seen it in, I was about to say hundreds of industries, not worked in hundreds of industries, but many industries. It has never worked. I've seen it used by people of all walks of life. Doesn't work, okay? But let's just say Antonio Conte found the secret recipe for being a micromanager and it working. The only way it would possibly work is when he said to them, I want you to stand here and do this and do that when the ball is here, and you have to do these 10 different things. And they did it, and it paid off. And in his first and second season, Spurs won the league and the Champions League. Then the players would go, yeah, we don't like it, but my God, this is working. But it doesn't work like that. And so when you've got people like Ange, and this is the bit that I want to talk about here, is, can I give an analogy, a real analogy of what I do at work? Is that all right? I sort of talk about work a lot on this podcast.
Of course you can.
Right. The way that I work is, it's a bit like a military system. So there's me at the top, and then I have generals in place. And these generals they're not just in charge of departments, so they're above the department head. And what happens is they overview a few different departments, and then what happens is the head of department answers to them. So if they're managing 2 different departments, they will answer to the generals, the team leaders, and any sort of other reporting managers will answer to the head of department. Juniors answer to the superiors, interns answer to the juniors, and up it goes all the way up, right? There is no fucking way that, even though I know that we have a certain project to do, even if it's for a massive client, that I'm going to go to one of the interns and say, I want you to do this, 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 and that. It doesn't work like that. They have certain guidelines, and it's drilled into them continuously by the work that they do on a daily basis. Right? So whether it's social media, or whether it's setting up Google ads, or creating websites, or whatever it is, there's a certain way that we do things, and it's drilled into them. And those that do well grow, and those that don't, the door, as I say to them, it's in the same place it was this morning. I didn't recall calling a carpenter and asking him to move it. So off you go, and that is the way it is. So, of course, you don't need to go through every single little thing. You can say, yeah, but James, marketing and branding is different to running a football team. Yeah, it is, but you know what? Dealing with human beings isn't. And so it's the same thing. And I really believe that with Eric Dier, he was, like a lot of them, were so scarred by what Antonio Conte was doing. Like, we lost a lot of youth players back then. Well, I say a lot. A fair few, because they were literally being used as dummies, as cones. You know, I want you to stand here. So, yeah, you were invited to train with the first team. And it's like, imagine the elation. Imagine how amazing it would have been for them, like, telling all their mates, I've just been invited to train with the Spurs first team. I'm gonna be in the same changing room in Hotspur Way with Harry Kane and Son. And all they're doing is standing there doing nothing else. Okay, so when you've got that kind of experience, and then you have, I would say, nearly the antithesis of that in Ange Postecoglou, then maybe you can think that, oh yeah, it wasn't really tactical work. Yeah, it wasn't tactical work in the same way that you were being drilled by the football terrorists from Italy. Okay, and that's why I believe that he came up with these comments. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. As I said, I don't know the guy. Question for Hannah. Philip Aldous, who is at PALKID94, asks, Hannah, you can date any 3 players from the squad at the same time, but their shirt numbers need to appear next to each other on the squad list. Which block of 3 players do you pick? So I think we should open up Tottenham Hotspur.
I've got it in front of me, so I'll let you.
I don't. Let me go and open
get
it
that up as well.
Right.
You've already just got this in like your notes page. You've been assessing, making a little tier list.
She's made a pivot table, mate. She's done it.
So
Years.
right, here's the thing. Right, here's the thing. So I was having a look earlier, and I was sort of scrolling and going, oh yeah, like 1, 2, no, 1, 2, no. So the third one ruined it every time, which is nice. I did settle on a block of 3. If you've got the squad list up,
I do. Should we guess? Can me and Toj guess?
Ooh, that spices it up.
actually, that is a good shout. Yeah. So block of 3.
So if that means that if I...
You need to read them out as you're looking, though.
I know, but if I go first and you say yes, I've either got the last one, the first one, or the middle one, right? So it's like battleships. This is like battleships. This is quite interesting. You
Okay,
don't know what battleships are, do you?
Okay. Hang on, how do you want me to answer?
I think
Yes,
the first...
I do. But all right.
All right, okay. So I think if Maddison is in there... Can you give us a clue? Is Maddison in the 3? Well, if you say yes, that means we know what it is.
I can't give you a clue.
You
I can't give you a clue.
Actually, Toj, you goes. I think I've got it. Oh, I might be wrong.
I reckon I know it.
Go
All
on.
3.
Go on then.
I reckon it's the run from Bentancur, Davies and Van der Ven.
Ooh, I wasn't going to do that one. Don't say yes or no. So you've got
like a good 3.
You've got 30, 33 and 37 Bentancur, Davis and Van der Ven. I was gonna go for Bissouma, Richarlison and Maddison.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Because
so I know Richie and Madders would be up there.
Yeah, after Maddison you got Brian Hill, which ain't gonna happen. I mean, so it's not what a sacrifice just to fuck Madders. I suppose
he'd be like a schoolboy, which is what Hannah likes anyway. So.
True, actually. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, man. You're going to get me in so much trouble.
So, out of me and Toj...
Unwarranted, I must say.
Are any of us right, or are we both wrong?
Yes.
What does that mean?
One of you is right.
One of us is right.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to flick a coin, see if... 1 minute, see if Toj is... Todger. 1 minute. You ready for this? Heads or tails, mate? Tails... Hold on. No, 1 minute. Tails, your Todger disappears, and heads, you're right. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Tails.
Be right.
Tails.
Fuck it, here we go again. So just get deeper now. I already had it inverted.
You're at a loss.
Hannah, tell us, put us out of misery. Who's right?
So, James, your choice. I was so close.
We're both called James,
That was gonna be
our
my
name
choice,
is
but
our name is spelled the same way.
Toj. We've got Toj and
okay.
James.
Sorry. Yeah.
But Toj, you were actually bang on.
Wow.
What can I say?
Oh my god, your penis has grown 1 inch.
It's
He
just
does
a
know like
clitoris
everything
now.
about me, so
Oh wow.
I'm actually really proud
Well
of
done.
myself.
I
I was tempted to go
Yeah.
like one higher and then have like Davies Van der Ven a doggy, but I was like,
Who's that?
listen, between the two of you, it was very close.
Did you think about going for the Madison?
Well, yeah, but then also the ones above. So because we had Dragoshin and Sunny as well above,
yeah.
and
Then you've got
Basuma.
Højbjerg
So-
behind, and I think
Yeah.
Højbjerg's a tough one. I feel he'd be
And he just
very
gives me
sort
the
of.
Who's that? Who's
in the
that?
sideways passes.
Who's the number 19? Not seen him play before.
He got 10 minutes this season.
Did he? I don't remember him.
That's so mean.
Right, we have to talk about Arsenal, don't we?
Do we have to?
We do. I think, though, because this pod has been going for an hour, should we maybe do a special pod on Friday?
That would
On
be fun.
Friday, I've got a life, babe.
No, you don't. That's why I'm asking you. Do you think that... or, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah.
I
If
think
can we all get on?
Yeah, I think we have to get on. Now, let's not tell Johnny and Josh about this. They'll listen to it tomorrow. They can't help themselves. So, Johnny and Josh, all 5 of us, to be on Friday, and anytime you lot want, so that we can get it done. Because I think that we should talk about Arsenal then. There's quite a bit to say. And after the way they played yesterday, although I don't know if Chelsea just opened their legs.
They just bent over. But yeah, you're right. Let's talk about it then.
They bent over. Is there like a slang word for spreading your arse cheeks?
Yeah, Gape.
Is that what it is? Gape. So they.
I
gaped
answered
and
that a little
got
bit too
prolapsed.
quickly.
Yeah,
I answered that far
you
far
did,
too quickly.
and it's
Come on.
nice that you also
Sorry.
brought that up. That you that you told us that you answered it too quickly as well. I mean, that's why we love you so much. And
I'm so painfully
so on Friday, on Friday, we're gonna cover the Arsenal game, which is on Sunday at 2:00 UK time, right?
It is.
Are you two going? Actually, don't tell us. Don't tell us. You'll tell us on Friday's pod. One last question. I don't get this one, and I feel really stupid. So at Sladweld, a question I honestly ask myself daily: would the Spurs cockerel look better with a comb?
Would it look better with a comb?
I don't get it. What am I not? What? 1 minute. Let me just.
Do you actually not get it?
I'm looking at it. No, I don't get it. What?
Oh, mate.
I'm looking at the. Am I that old? I'm looking at the Spurs.
Hannah, you get it, don't you?
No, I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
What am I
We
missing?
were going over this the other day.
What?
Oh, were we?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's been such a long week.
It has, right?
Fucking hell.
It's
you
only
are
Wednesday,
useless.
by the way. What? Explain it to us. What do you mean? I don't get it. Sladweld. Come on.
Sladeweld.
I don't know
Fuck's
if better or worse. Do you genuinely not get it?
No.
God, I thought we were meant to be quite professional around
Are you?
here.
Do you actually get it, mate, or are you just saying this and you don't actually know what we're talking about either?
Have a stab
Oh,
in the
no.
dark what you think he's doing.
I'm fully gaslighting you, don't worry.
He has absolutely no fucking clue. mate.
It's obviously, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Spurs cockerel with a comb. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Apparently
I don't-
Toj does, but he doesn't want to share it with us.
Yeah. If we
Oh,
could
no, I've got
elaborate
no
a little bit
fucking
more,
clue.
that'd be great.
Does it mean like just the hair of it's like been brushed? Or
But it doesn't have any.
like you've got the little feathery tail thing?
But who combs their
Doesn't-
arse?
I mean,
People who
someone
gape?
somewhere probably does. We've got to keep it neat and tidy, Hannah.
If it's got to the point of combing it, you're lost anyway.
Define
Do you
gape.
reckon you could like do a ponytail if it was long enough?
Ooh,
I don't know. Men are the ones with hairy asses. Why don't you ask each other?
you should meet some Cypriot women. 1 minute. Hi, mate. What does gape mean? Gape mean. Now, this is the funniest bit about ChatGPT. I'm only asking, as Hannah has once again told me what it means, and it's rude. So I don't believe her. Please help. This is why I love
ChatGPT hates me.
It does. It's hi.
See, for a second.
The word gape generally means to stare with one's mouth open wide. So Gabriel Jesus, typically in amazement or wonder. So maybe not him. It can also refer to something being wide open, like a gap or opening. It's not inherently a rude term, but Hannah is right. So it sounds like the context or additional meanings might have been added in your conversation. Would that be right to say that about Hannah? If there's a special usage or context she's mentioned that sounds rude, it could be slang or colloquial use of the term. Hannah says that it's when she pulls her arse cheeks
I should be so lucky.
open while bending over.
That sounds like I do it just because.
Over. Well, let's see what he says.
Okay. Why is it he?
It sounds like Hannah is referring to specific vulgar slang use of gape related to explicit adult content. In some
Sounds like
contexts,
Hannah needs a boyfriend.
Particularly in adult entertainment, gape can describe the act of deliberately stretching or opening a part of the body in such a manner that usage is quite different from the general definition of the word, which is more about looking or being wide open in non-sexual use. I think Hannah needs a shag.
Wow. Wow.
Let's see what he says.
Wow, guys.
I'm here to help with your questions and provide information. It just ignores that question.
Find Hannah a boyfriend.
Right, so we're back on Friday. Hopefully you get to listen to it on Friday, not on Saturday. And most podcasts, I don't get it. They say, we've been. You still are. Why do they end it we've been? What's wrong with some podcasters? By the way, you guys aren't on a fucking panel. You're not guests. You're just part of a fucking podcast, right? So you're not panelists. I'm not going to call you that. Am I a host? I don't care. I don't know. We're just some mates who talk about Spurs and gaping.
Gapes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's about it. So, yeah, we still are the Hotspur Way podcast. Fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah's about to say goodbye. Oh, do you want to talk about the... No, talk about that on Friday. Say goodbye, Hannah.
Do that on Friday. Love you, bye.
Say goodbye, Toj.
Adios.